Okay, so we're going to do a little bit of weight bearing on our arms today. So let's start off on all fours. And again, as ever, hands under shoulders, knees under hips. I want you to engage your core, so that's the area around your navel. And we're going to do some push-ups from here. So elbows bending, coming down, and up again. We're going to do this 10 times. Engaging your core as you're coming down, so that it's not very haphazard movement, but rather very coordinated. Good. Now step your hands a little bit in front, about hand length in front. Again, spread the fingers out, tuck the toes under. We're going to come up to downward dog. Keep the knees slightly bent in downward dog. As ever, keep the gaze back. Bring your attention to really lifting the hips up and back and getting that nice length from your fingertips up to the hips. And from there, let's come forwards to plank. So again, in plank, we want the shoulders to be over the hands. We don't want to collapse the body, so you need to draw again, draw the core, draw the fronts of your thighs up into the hamstrings. Have your gaze more or less between your fingers. Good. Press your heels back and think about bringing your heart forwards. Good. And then bending the knees, come back and take a couple of breaths in downward dog. And then let's drop the knees down, come to all fours again. Maybe move the hands back slightly so they're again under your shoulders. We're going to do a modified side plank. To do this, I want you to take your right foot and place it where your right knee was. That's it. Turning outwards. Tuck the toes of your left foot under. Bring your knee off the mat. Roll over onto the little toe side of your left foot. Turn your torso and try to stack your shoulders. So bring that top shoulder back a little bit. If it feels okay, stretch that top arm up in the air. That's it. That's it. The straight leg now. Press the foot of that down into the mat and try not to collapse your hip. That's lovely. Good. Let's look down. Come back to all fours. That's lovely. Okay, to repeat on the other side. Take your left foot where your left knee is, turning the toes out. Tuck the toes of the right leg under. Lift up, roll over onto the little toe side of that right foot. Take the top hand onto the top hip. Draw the top shoulder back. Lift that top arm up in the air. Breathe. And again, don't forget, we don't want to collapse the hips. So if you can concentrate on the bottom foot, just pressing the sole of the foot down, that helps to lift up the hip. Good. And then from there, let's look down, take the hands down, come back to all fours. Lovely. Let's stretch the arms in front into our puppy dog, lifting the hips up, stretching the arms, bringing the head towards the floor. And then slide forward and come all the way down to prostration. Let's take a moment here. And then we're going to do Sphinx pose, and we're going to do a modified version of downward dog and plank with the elbows on the floor. So to do Sphinx, let's bend the elbows, take them directly under your shoulders. Okay, so straight line down from your shoulders to your elbows, straight line from your elbows up to your hands, right? Spread your fingers out, palms the hands down on the mat. Feet a little bit apart. Okay, so this is kind of like a passive version of Sphinx, right? To do the more active version, which is what we want to do, I want you to press your feet back, press your elbows down and back. And as you do that, lift your heart forwards and ease your shoulders back down and tuck your shoulder blades into your back. So what you want to do is really feel the front body is lengthening. That's it. Good. And then just relax. Maybe take a breather here. Bring the elbows out. Rest down on one side of your face. And we're going to do that again. So elbows once more under the shoulders. Spreading the fingers out, rolling those shoulders down your back now. Press your feet down, press the pubic bone down. Lift the heart forwards. Draw the shoulders back. So again, long front body. Good. The heart is lifting, shoulder blades tucking into your back. That's lovely. Again, feeling that stretch in the front body. That's it. And then from there, come back onto the knees, tuck the toes under, come to a modified downward dog. So elbows down, pressing the elbows down, lifting the hips up. So obviously you're not going to get the hips as high as they would be in your normal downward dog. But it's this is a good alternative, particularly if there's issues with your wrists. Okay, so again, try to get the shoulders away from the ears, lift the hips up. Good. Bring the gaze forwards now. Bring the shoulders forwards, coming into our modified plank. That's it. Good. Again, just really lifting the fronts of your thighs up, lifting and engaging the core, relaxing the shoulders down as much as you can. Good. And as you exhale, let's come down onto the mat and maybe rest down for a couple of breaths. So we're going to do a side plank version now with the elbow down on the mat. So again, lifting the chest up. Okay, going to roll over onto the left side. Turn your hand so that your elbow's under your shoulder. The hand is stretching forward in front of you. That's it. And then have your top leg, your right leg, slightly in front of the bottom leg. Okay. Going to press into the elbow to lift the hip up. Good. Again, if it feels okay, stretch that top arm, the right arm in the air. Maybe look up at it, but that's not necessary. Press your feet down into the mat. Good. Draw your shoulder again away from your ear. press down into the elbow. Again, don't collapse the hip down. Try to lift the hips up. Just let's take another couple of breaths here. Good. And let's relax down. Roll onto your front and then over onto the other side. So onto the right side. Again, stack your legs, but have your top foot slightly in front. Okay, again, press down to lift the hips up, lift the top arm up again. Maybe look up at that top arm if it's not hard on your neck. Relax your shoulders down. Again, press your feet down into the mat. Keep lifting the hips up. Keep breathing. Good. And then let's relax. Let's come back. Again, make a pillow of your hands. Just rest your forehead down on the hands. A couple of breaths here. Maybe let the next few breaths out through your mouth as you just release tension. And then we'll do cobra, downward dog, and plank, and we're going to do side plank. If it feels okay, do the full version. If it doesn't, do the modified version as we did earlier. Okay, so again, cobra, lifting the heart, exhaling back to downward dog. Inhale forwards to plank pose. And then rolling over again onto the left leg. Again, have the right foot a little bit in front, a little bit easier here. Stretch that top arm, the right arm up in the air. Again, we don't want to collapse the bottom hip, so keep that idea of lifting the hips, keep pressing the feet into the mat, relax the shoulders as much as you can away from the ears, and breathe. Good. Let's come back to downward dog. Take a couple of breaths here. And again, if you have the knees a little bit bent, it really helps to lengthen the spine and to prevent the low back rounding. And then from there, we're going to inhale, come forwards to plank, roll over onto the right side, stretch that left arm in the air. Again, focus on lifting the hips, breathing, drawing the shoulders down towards your hips, and pressing the feet down into the mat. Coming back to downward dog. And then let's rest down. Maybe rest in a nice modified version of our puppy dog. And whatever position you're taking for resting, stay there for a few minutes now to allow the body to ease and relax.